What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be going over the hot fixes for October 8th, 2020. Now keep in mind, like I just said, these are actually hot fixes. It is not a patch today. We're getting Bloody Harvest. We also got some crazy Zane buffs, and these are in hot fixes, so who knows what else is coming in the future. We're going to cover the Zane buffs first and some of the buffs to the other stuff. Before we go over the Bloody Harvest stuff, there's going to be tons of Bloody Harvest content and builds coming out soon, so just look out for that stuff. Anyways, guys, let's get straight into it. So like I said, Zane received some buffs, and I want to talk about them with you guys before we go over anything else. So let's hop straight into it. It says, today we are releasing several changes to Zane's passive skills and class mods. After buffing weapons, we started looking at how class mods were impacting build diversity of Vault Hunters. After investigating community feedback, we developed these changes to make more class mods viable for Zane in the endgame. Most of the passive skill buffs changed today are used by class mods that had been underperforming. Additional changes to Zane are already planned, with some coming in future hotfixes and patches. So remember how I said today is just hotfixes, and they clearly say right here more changes are coming in future hotfixes and patches. So let's just go over it. First, we have Cold Bore, which is increased bonus damage. This skill only provides extra damage on the first bullet of a weapon swap. This bonus happens infrequently by nature, so we have massively buffed the damage. With this change, we are interested to see new builds centered around small mag sizes like sniper rifles and more. Now, obviously, as of now, we don't know these values. I will most likely be posting a video later today going over all this stuff. But it says massively buffed the damage, which is insane. Let's just move on. Duct tape mod, decrease the grenade cooldown by half. We found that the value of this passive skill was limited by the cooldown between each grenade, so we've cut that in half. Players will need to be conscious of the cooldown time and type of grenade mod they have equipped to get maximum value out of this passive skill. So basically that's 4 seconds on duct tape mod now. Like a Ghost, they increased the frequency of the base effect and increased the bonus for each active action skill. The stacking bonus only occurs each time one of Zane's action skills is activated. This is infrequent in the late game as players generally extend their action skill duration time. We've made this change with that playstyle in mind. So I said the frequency, but what I meant was they increased the effect of it and the bonus for each active action skill. So this skill should be better now, I suppose. We'll find out. Next, we have Trick of the Light. Increased bonus damage. The damage from this skill depends on the number of enemies targeting Zane and Zane's clone, and can occasionally be unpredictable. To better account for this inconsistency, we've buffed the damage bonus. And once again, we're just gonna have to wait to find out the damage bonus on Trick of the Light. But you guys know I will be finding that out later for you. Best Served Cold, increase the damage from the Cryonovas. I'm really interested to see what this is now, and we'll see if it's any good. Futility Belt, increase the damage reduction. To help encourage players to consider builds that remove elemental damage, we've buffed the damage mitigation to be stronger here. Next, we have 4 class mod changes. Number 1 is the Anti-Freeze class mod. Increase movement speed while taking cryo damage. That's pretty cool. You know, I wish we could just get cryo immunity and slide while we're cryoed, but these are hot fixes, guys, so remember that. The Conductor class mod increased the damage bonus. The damage bonus for this class mod is dependent on the amount of action skill duration time you have left. Like Trick of the Light, this damage can feel inconsistent. We have increased the damage bonus to provide more reliable damage. Pretty cool. We'll have to see what they increased it to. The Executor increased the stat bonuses. Players suggested that the stat bonuses provided as a kill skill weren't strong enough to feel the value. We've buffed each significantly. So I believe this was 18 or 20% before. I'm gonna have to hop in the game and tell you guys what it is afterwards. The Techspert increased the chance of recharge to Sentinel cooldowns and active duration. The intent of this class mod is to provide a way to keep Zane's drone active nearly indefinitely, but at just 5% chance to refill the cooldown and duration, it wasn't consistent enough. We've increased the likelihood of this behavior occurring. Now, all right, that is it for these Zane buffs. There's a couple things here that actually look pretty interesting, and a couple things that, I don't really care for, I'm not too excited about. The main thing I want to point out is that these are actually just hotfixes today. If you guys didn't notice, you didn't download a patch today, or you're not going to be downloading a patch later on today, and they specifically said more changes to Zane are coming. They are planned. Future hotfixes, future patches. So this is just a start, and I'm really looking forward to it. Now, let's talk about Bloody Harvest. So for those of you who didn't play Bloody Harvest last year, you basically run around the map collecting ectoplasm, or run around the world collecting ectoplasm, and then you get transferred to Captain Haunt's world. It was just like the cartel event, but it's a different world for Captain Haunt. It's like a spooky Athenas with Captain Haunt at the end. It's super great. For those of you who didn't experience it last year, you're gonna love it. They reactivated it, so it's already downloaded on your system, and that's why it's just a hotfix today. All they had to do was activate it. And terror anointments will now be in the game for the month until Bloody Harvest is over. And I'm super excited for it. So yeah, that's the main thing we had to talk about. Now let's talk about what some of the buffs to the Bloody Harvest gear and anointments. The Fearmonger, the Stalker, and the Gas Call, the 3 Bloody Harvest weapons. The Fearmonger is the shotgun, and the Stalker is the sniper. The Fearmonger, they increase the number of bullets shot per terror level. So this actually gets bonus projectiles per terror level. If you're at max terror, you get max projectiles. And they also increase the weapon damage. The Stalker, which is a pretty decent dull sniper, or at least it used to be, they increase the weapon damage. Maybe it can hang in Mayhem 10 now. The Gas Call, they increased the freaking damage. So many people loved the Gas Call grenade, and they increased the damage on this one. Next, while terrified, gain increased damage and fire rate. The more terror you have, the higher the bonus. Now, depending what they increase this to, this is actually a very good anointment. It was only 15% last year, so hopefully they increased it upwards of maybe like 75% would be pretty great. Next, we have while terrified, deal bonus cryo damage. This is now 75% cryo damage. While terrified, enemy bullets have a chance to reflect off of you. The more terror you have, the higher the bonus. They actually increased the damage to this, is what it says here. So I'm guessing reflect damage on this got increased. Sorry, I lost myself. On action stun, apply terror to yourself every 5 seconds. Adjusted the text to match what was happening in game. The Siren Anointment, after phase grasping an enemy, Amara fires terror skulls at the grass target, dealing damage. They increase the damage on this. The Beastmaster Anointment, after using attack command, consume all terror and flax pets gain 50% bonus fire damage for a short time. So this is actually a pet damage anointment, which there is no other pet damage anointment in the game. I'm pretty sure about that. So that's pretty interesting. And then the Gunner Anointment, after reloading, consume all terror and create a Nova that deals cryo. This got increased damage bonus as well. Now let's move on to some actual weapon changes. You guys are going to be really excited about one of these in specific. And we'll have to see how these other ones pan out in game. So first we have dull burst weapons. Increase the burst fire rate of AR, SMG, and pistols. This does not affect legendary weapons. The Laser Sploder, increased damage scaling and mag size. The Conference Call, the initial target will now be hit with the weapon's extra projectiles. The Maggie, slightly increased weapon damage. The Psycho Stabber, increased melee damage. And I heard a little rumor that this is upwards of over 300% melee damage on the Psycho Stabber, which is absolutely nuts. Forget if it was 320 or 350, but that is the highest melee damage bonus gun in the game now. So that's very interesting, and I'm really glad they put it on the Psycho Stabber instead of a gun like the Face Puncher. The Masterwork Crossbow is the last one, increased weapon damage. And that is it for today's hot fixes. So we might as well cut it there. I did this all in one take. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel for more Borderlands 3 videos. I can't wait to hop into the game later and tell you guys how those Zane buffs panned out. That's probably the first thing I'm going to do before we post any terror builds. Anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.